Hello everyone, Professor Thompson once again for the fifth and final video that I'm posting for probably this week, week one. If some other questions come up, I may post another video in response to some student feedback and student questions. But your speech is 1 week away, and as I said in video number 3, you're going to want to make sure you print out and you look at the assignment description and that you start working on that first presentation. A couple things to think about leading up. First of all, in the syllabus and in the assignment description section, I said if you come to class and you're going to come give your speech face-to-face next Monday from 6 to 9 p.m., bring a USB drive with you. So, I have a really tiny one right here. It's just a USB drive. Make sure you bring one of those with you because your speech will be recorded. I've said that both in the syllabus and in the assignment description. So I want to be able to give you a copy of the video recording once I've recorded your speech. The best way to do that is the USB drive, so bring one of these. The second thing is some of you have asked about PowerPoints. I alluded and really mentioned some stuff earlier today in a different video that if you're choosing to give a presentation, PowerPoint may not be your best visual aid because there may be no point to your PowerPoint. If PowerPoint is used effectively, it's used to enhance your message and extend what you're talking about, great. If it provides a great visual representation of something, perfect. If it's used to be an online outline for you or a place where you can plop a bunch of text for us, don't do it. Bad decision. So don't overwhelm your PowerPoints with too much information, and definitely don't read them to me or to the class. The third thing I wanted to mention was outlines. If you've read the requirements for the first presentation, you're going to notice that an outline is required for the speech. On the left-hand side of Blackboard, again, there's a tab that says Outline Submission. That Outline Submission tab is where you're going to click in and you're going to submit your outline prior to the presentation. That way, when I come to class, I've already seen the outline of your speech. I know what to expect. I know what you're going to be doing. I always say, make sure that you have Roman numerals or make sure you have bullets. I don't care which, but make sure you've clearly outlined what your presentation is going to cover. In the requirement sheet, I specifically ask for certain information. So you're going to want to make sure you have all those details read in that requirement sheet so that when it comes time to making that outline, you've got your stuff in there. But you submit that to me in advance using that link on the left side of Blackboard. The last thing I wanted to talk about was oral source citations. In Unit 1, kind of looking around my office right now, I have it's a handout that is in Unit 1 that says Tips for Oral Source Citations. You want to look at that handout because it specifically identifies how you orally say your research in your presentation. So when you pick your topic and you're bringing in outside things to make your speech stronger, whether it's website information, book quotes, magazine or journal information, interviews, when we take that information and include that orally in our speech, there's a certain structure. So I will be expecting that you follow that. Specifically, we're looking for you to identify the author of the information, the source of the information, so a magazine, website, is it Time, is it Wall Street Journal, and we're looking for the publication date. So those three things. Oral source citations may not be natural or common for some of you. So making sure that you look at that handout is important and essential because this first speech only has 2, but your next speech we go up to 4. So getting it done right this time is important. So look at the handout, make sure that you're figuring out, how am I using this information? How am I going to say my sources within my speech? Again, on Blackboard or in Blackboard, I have a video tab that shows former student speeches. They cite sources in their speech. You will notice them. You can pick them out. You too need to do that same thing. So don't just throw it out the window and say you're not doing it. It's a required element of the presentation. And that handout is essential. One of the biggest mistakes that I see students do throughout a semester is they don't get it right the first time, and they continue to lose points in speech 2, continue to lose even more points in speech 3, because they didn't look at all the handout material and they didn't make any effort to include that information into their speeches. And I don't want that to happen for you. So please check that out. Remember that at the end of your outline, you will have your written citations of the information that you used. Those written citations will be in APA or MLA format or whatever you've chosen to use, but that's different than what you're actually going to say in your speech for your oral source citations. So part of this process is growth. Part of this is understanding the public speaking process and incorporating that into your message. Your textbook in chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12 talk about outlining. It talks about the importance of oral source citations. And so then I'm giving you the resources as part of Unit 1 to actually begin to do that in your own presentations. If you have questions or concerns, email me. That's what I'm here for. We'll see you all soon.